Williams had the go-ahead layup with 4 seconds left. In the NBA, the Pelicans beat the Sacramento Kings 120-94, and after coaching LSU's defensive line for just 1 year, Kyle Williams is returning to his alma mater. Williams, who previously served as Ruston High's defensive coordinator, is rejoining the Bearcats staff as assistant head coach and also assistant athletic director. LRN. The college baseball season gets underway on Friday. LSU sophomore catcher Cade Arumbity made 19 starts last year, but he's expected to get a majority of the starts behind the plate this season. Arumbity says his main focus in the offseason was improving his plate discipline.
Now that I've got that experience and got a year under my belt and now have a chance to be in the lineup pretty often, I think if I really hone in on my swing decisions and really make sure that I'm going at the right pitches at the right counts, right time, I could really impact the baseball. So that's something that me, Coach Johnson, and Chief have all been working on together and working hard on that.
Expectations are low at ULM. For the Warhawks to surprise people, several players will need to have big seasons. First-year head coach Ford Pemberton says freshman infielder Sutton Lewis from Monroe is one of the players who stood out leading up to the regular season.
We moved him around the infield, all the positions, getting him to understand the game a little bit better. I would much rather tame a Mustang than continue to try to push a guy to get going, and he does not have that problem.
LRN.
During the big game, you may have seen an emotional Amazon commercial about how Ring doorbell cameras reunite lost dogs with their owners. Here's the straight scoop. I'm Kim Commando for ExpressVPN. When you're online, you're always being tracked. Keep your activity private and secure. Get 4 extra months for free at expressvpn.com/Kim. Ring doorbells are so prevalent that it's common to find anywhere from 5 to 20 on any given street. So Amazon had an idea. Using their mesh network called Sidewalk, anyone with a lost dog can upload the dog's photo. Ring doorbells in the area will scan for the dog as it monitors what's going on outside. And if your dog wanders by, Ring cameras attempt to match your photos. Amazon says it reunited 99 dogs in 90 days. Recording outside activity is perfectly legal. Their Ring doorbell network is already in place. And what a great idea. It sure beats stapling lost dog photos on telephone poles. Enter to win $250 every single day in February at winfromkim.com. Here's something most people don't think about. When a popular online service says it's free, you're usually paying for it with your privacy. Every click, search, and website visit can be tracked, logged, and used to build a detailed picture of who you are. And if you're not paying for the product, you're not the customer. You are the product. That's why I protect my online privacy with ExpressVPN. Your internet service provider can see everything you're doing online, and third parties can track your activity through your IP address. I'm not okay with that. With ExpressVPN, your internet traffic is routed through secure encrypted servers and an anonymous IP address, so your online activity stays private. It's fast, reliable, and incredibly easy. Just one click. One subscription protects up to 8 devices too. Right now, you can get my special offer of 4 extra months with ExpressVPN. Protect your privacy today. Go to expressvpn.com/Kim and you'll get that special offer of 4 extra months. Don't miss out. Go to expressvpn.com/Kim today. That's expressvpn.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday day here on KSYL. It's a terrific Tuesday. Nathan Martin sitting in with Steve Maxwell. It's going to be a good day, Steve. Stephen, good morning. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. We're all through with the post-Super Bowl hangover. Everybody back to work today like they're supposed to be. A lot of people miss work today. Not a lot, but, it's supposedly a big hangover day. And there were some folks who enjoyed it. Most folks, though, outside of Seattle, New England, well, not even New England, didn't really care, it seemed like, because the numbers weren't that great and the enthusiasm wasn't that great. I was pulling for Seattle just because I was tired of New England winning. And
Same.
I was happy,
I used to kind of feel sorry for the Seahawks, but when they got good, like in 2012 or whatever, you kind of started getting annoyed with them. They had some annoying characters, and so I'm kind of holding on to that. But I'd rather them than New England, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't going to lose sleep either way on that one. It was the Eagles, different story. I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah, you're not. I know you're not an Eagles fan at all. So
they're from the 7th layer of hell.
All right. So, which particular game do you hate the most that they defeated the Cowboys?
Back in 2000. Oh, I know this. Back in 2008, there was a game at the end of the season. Winner goes to the playoffs. Loser stays home for the division championship, and the Eagles beat Dallas 44-6.
Ooh, that's a spanking.
It was pretty upsetting. And Dallas was supposed to be really good that year, but they weren't.
What happened?
They just, they just choke like they usually do, to be honest with you. Okay. And it was in Philly, and it was just a mess. Brian Dawkins and his little eagle chants he would do just drove me nuts. Burned into my memory.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, I'm like Al. I have like the most random sports history, and mine is like 2005 to 2015 Cowboys. Like I just super obsessed.
You know that stuff, don't you?
Didn't do much good for me, though.
Well, on a little bit of a different sports note, congratulations to Sydney Person, number 12 of the LSUA women's basketball team. She is the Red River Athletic Conference Player of the Week, and she's had a couple of phenomenal games. She's actually the leading average scorer for LSUA, and is a freshman, believe it or not. She's a dynamo that has come in and lit things up there at the fort. And if you enjoy basketball, I will tell you there are only 2 home games left at LSUA, this Thursday and then this Saturday, the final 2 home games. Then they have 2 road games coming up, and they're far away. I think one's in San Antonio and one's in Hobbs, New Mexico. But yeah, so if you want to play, they're going to be playing. If you want to see them at home this Thursday, they're taking on Texas A&M University at San Antonio, and then on Saturday they're taking on Our Lady of the Lake. So 2 good home games. Next week, of course, they're on the road. But if you want to see them at home, you need to do that before the Red River Athletic Conference comes around. The conference tournament comes around a little bit later in the month, and I do believe that will be at the the Laborde Earls Coliseum. Do we have to say it that way? Are we contractually obligated because that's the name of it? Just call it the Laborde Earls Coliseum?
I would say so.
Okay.
They paid good money for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they didn't pay us, so,
Well,
okay.
It's like whenever, I hate to go back to the Cowboys, but we called it Cowboy Stadium forever, and
right.
then AT&T bought the rights, but everyone still calls it Cowboy Stadium.
Do you miss the one that had the open top so God could watch?
Well, this one has a retractable opening.
Oh, it's retractable.
And they leave it open a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, just so whenever God's ready to watch.
Okay. Well, apparently he hadn't been watching lately, so.
Well, he's in his punishing phase.
He goes through
his
these
graceful
phases, right?
stage and his punishing stage. They're in the bad person.
But, the good news is hopefully that always leads to repentance and restoration. So
well, that's what we're hoping for, but I think the guy at the top needs to work on that. So.
Jerry Jones, is it hubris? Is it one of the deadly sins of pride?
He's pretty much Joshua who allowed the golden calf statue. And we're just all suffering for it.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, let's go to the phone lines. 318-442-8255, the BLM Talk Line. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan. Hello. Well, give it a try again, and we'll try you later. So, Talk Back. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I put the ghost call on hold. That doesn't do any good. But, yeah, give us a call back here, 318-442-8255, the BLM Talk Line. I want to hear from you today. Here's some thoughts about local happenings. Coming up at 8 o'clock, we've got Pineville Mayor Joe Bishop will be in the studio with us. Tonight is City Council meeting, and Mayor Bishop continues the tradition started about 2 decades ago of the mayor coming in on the day of City Council meeting to share updates. There's a news report in the Rapides Parish Journal that says Pineville has a clean audit. They'll be presented with that tonight, and so there's an opportunity for you there to hear some good news, which I like good news whenever we can get it. Also tonight, and the mayor will talk more about it, but they will be recognizing the Pineville High School cheerleaders for their recent National Cheerleaders Association Championship and the junior high cheerleaders who also won the national championship. And then they'll also be recognizing the Pineville Junior High School ladies basketball team for their recent district championship. So a lot of recognitions tonight at council meeting. Mayor Bishop will be talking. He loves doing that kind of stuff. All the council loves doing that kind of stuff. So look forward to that. Then coming up in the after the 8:30 hour, we'll have a guest from the Extra Mile in Pineville. They're opening a new food bank, so we'll talk about that. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes,
I wanted to ask something. The other day when Nungesser was on, or Lieutenant General, Lieutenant Governor Nungesser was on. I'm sorry, y'all.
You probably wouldn't mind that.
Well, yeah, but I try to use an economy of words to not waste y'all's time, and I got flustered. Anyways, they were speaking about littering and ways to thwart it, and I wanted to call in, but I had another idea that I wanted to call in later on, so I didn't. But I was wondering, with the mayor coming on and your knowledge of city laws and stuff and municipal laws, dash cams are becoming very popular now, and they're cheap and they're affordable. I don't personally have one, but there were so many times when I was in my UPS truck, I would see people just stop at a light and just throw a bag of garbage. I mean, nice car, $100,000 cars, just dump a bag of garbage, usually fast food bags and cups, right out onto the street. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a fine for that, and I think it's a pretty hefty fine, but I was wondering if there's a way to incentivize. Al and Stephen often talk about the Green Party. Look, the profit incentive is the greatest motive to move people that there is. And when someone sees someone dump and they get their license plate or whatever, or they use their cell phone, if they turn that in, and if they could get 50% of that fine, the state or city or whatever municipality would get the other 50%, and I really think that would go a long ways in getting people to stop, because there's no way to raise people right. That's where it starts. Is when a kid. The other day I was riding with my granddaughter, and she said there was a wrapper. She said, "Are you going to throw that out?" When I got finished with it in the car, I said, "Well, no. Why would I do that?" She said, "She was just asking," and I said, "No. God has commanded us to be good stewards of what He's given us, but not everybody does that. So the other side is the stick, and so if we incentivize people by giving them, I think that we could do that with a lot of things. I think they should allow government employees who find waste to get a cash one time. 50% of the waste they found is on their check next month. And the taxpayer get the other 50%. I think that's common sense ways to incentivize people to join in to help make our place better. So, anyways, do you know of any laws that would prohibit the state or city from sharing fine money with an individual? If that individual, we hear that's crime.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I know the idea of a state or municipal employee receiving a bonus for that would be against the law, because
I can see that
they're not allowed to receive anything in compensation for the job that they do. So,
right, other than their pay. Right. I can see that.
A good incentive, if you've ever watched RoboCop 2, when the guy was smoking a cigarette and he wasn't supposed to, just look up that scene. It might work.
Okay, I vaguely remember number one. I didn't know there was a second. Okay, well, thanks. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, I appreciate your call as always, Dave.
Y'all never seen the RoboCop 2? Or
I've seen RoboCop 1.
And he's like, no smoking.
Did he shoot him?
To the side.
I may have. The RoboCop, it doesn't really... I did like RoboCop 1.
I gotta watch
those.
One. Those are good.
So, I just bought Running Man or rented Running Man because I missed it in the theater and I enjoyed that. So I haven't had a chance to see it yet. I enjoy good movies.
What is that?
Oh, what? Okay.
Is that the old movie you're talking about?
I know there's a remake.
I didn't know that.
They came out with it was in the theaters a little bit ago. And it's been remade in 2025, of course.
Oh, if you want to talk about movies, have you seen the new AI called Seedance 2.0?
I have not.
You need to look it up because they're making full movie scenes in a matter of seconds. that looks better than CGI from a few years ago.
Apparently, C-Dance is spelled C-S-E-E dance, not S-E-A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're seeing a movie. It's insane. We can look at it during the break, just some of the, but it's
I've
just
got it pulled
insane.
up. Well, speaking of the break, it is 7:30. Time to take the break. We'll come back. Got some international news I want to share with you that might be of interest to you, and your phone calls on the BOM talk line 318-442-8255 right after Bloomberg.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Honda's adding to the growing number of automakers warning of the fallout from slowing sales of electric vehicles. The car maker is taking a $1.7 billion hit from its EV business. General Motors, Jeep maker Stellantis, and Ford all recently announced billions of dollars in charges from their EV strategies. Trading starts today with the Dow Jones Industrial Average at a record high. Yesterday, chip companies did the heavy lifting, sending the S&P 500 up 0.5%. This morning, stocks are starting to lose steam. Futures have shifted from gains to losses. And all the delays at the airport during last year's government shutdown put a bit of a damper on business travel. As a result, Marriott reported quarterly earnings that missed Wall Street expectations. However, the hotel giant notes that the company's luxury properties have been outperforming, reflecting an ongoing divergence in travel spending between wealthier consumers and just about everyone else. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Looking for fun, learning, and excitement at your fingertips? The Rapides Parish Library has you covered. With our easy digital online calendar, signing up for events has never been simpler. Whether it's story time for the kiddos, workshops, painting classes, book clubs, or special guest speakers, you can browse and register right from your phone or computer. Just click, search, sign up, and show up. Head over to our website at rpl.org and get connected today.
Well, good morning. Patchy, dense fog to start us out in many areas this morning. And that'll leave us with cloudy skies later on. Afternoon highs near 78. Winds, pretty good breeze out of the south-southwest at about 10 to 15. Tonight, overcast. We'll get down to 60 for the overnight low. And then our Wednesday, starting out cloudy. Skies becoming partly sunny in the afternoon. Afternoon highs near 75. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, I really don't want to disgrace the military by singing taps for Hollywood, but the stuff you just showed me just now on your phone, it's Hollywood's dead. That's amazing.
Making realistic feature films.
Yeah.
Animation that looks like something someone produced. And it's adding in the audio, the sound effects, all just in a matter of minutes together.
Interesting. I haven't seen it yet, but I was telling you about the Running Man movie. It's actually a remake of the 1987 movie that was way back when, which is based on a Stephen King novel. And they say that the 2025 remake is more faithful to the novel. The 87 movie took a lot of liberties and whatnot, but one of the main themes is AI and his fight against it, capitalism, greed, AI, stuff like that. So. Media manipulation. Can you believe the media would manipulate us?
Manipulated? I don't honestly know how Hollywood as it stands is going to survive. It's just not. It's over.
Well, and I saw the other day a website for AI renting humans. Have you heard of this? So get this, here's a website. It's called rentahuman.ai. And it says, robots need your body. AI can't touch grass. You can. Get paid when agents need someone in the real world. And right now, 364,000 humans have signed up to rent themselves to AI. To go check the mail, to open letters,
Yeah. I wonder how much of this is a little bit of trolling at this point to raise some money, but Yeah, it's just like the social media for AI. that we talked about.
Yeah,
There's been some questions about, were humans operating that and this, that, and the other, but it's pretty insane, they just slowly take over our daily tasks.
Just go back to watch all the crazy shows you've ever seen, all the movies with the horror about the future, and maybe times 10 what it could be, because I don't know if our imagination can really realize what possibly could be. By the way, I want to go back to Dave's call a little bit ago. He talked about the littering. I do know, and I looked it up to confirm, there is a fee. The fine started $150 and then go all the way up to $10,000 depending on the severity and frequency. There's like simple littering, which is you're driving down the road and something flies out of your car, you're out of the back of your pickup truck and somebody sees it, that's a $150 fine. Intentional littering is what you've seen, where somebody throws something out the car. They do it on purpose. And then there's gross littering, which is like just backing up to the woods and dumping out the whole pickup truck full of stuff. When I was at the Midwinter Conference last week in Baton Rouge, Billy Nungesser was the keynote speaker, and I know he spoke, was it yesterday in town? Mm-hmm. And you went to that, right? Did he show a video at his presentation yesterday of littering?
No.
Okay, well, he showed a video at LMA about Louisiana, that's the Louisiana Municipal Association. They have set up cameras in frequent dumping sites, and they've been recording people, and he showed us like this bridge, people would pull up and just start throwing mattresses and, all kinds of stuff off the bridge and different spots in the woods. And he said, every single person you've seen in these videos has been arrested, every single one. So they're taking it seriously. And there are litter courts that a lot of places have set up. Louisiana, he told the story about, I don't remember if it was Nissan. There was some car dealership that had come in, and on the ride from the airport to the hotel, he made up his mind he was not going to have his employees live in a state that was so trashy. Mm-hmm. And so that's why the plant didn't come. That was Billy Nungesser telling that story. Again, I don't remember if it was Nissan or who it was, but it was some huge corporation that went someplace else. He also, and I think he shared similar comments about the problems with international tourism in Louisiana. I think I heard that on your report that you did. And he's very concerned about, Canada not coming here, other countries not coming here. But speaking of international, I heard a story this morning on the Wright Report, which I enjoy listening to, based on a tip from a friend. And it's possible we may be seeing the fall of the regime in Cuba in just the next few months, because oil has been cut off. There are two number one suppliers of oil, the top three, but the number one and number two were Venezuela and Mexico, and both have stopped the spigot. There is no oil going to Cuba, so the only place they can get oil from now is Russia. And of course, it takes a long time for freight liners to get there. And so they have closed hotels because tourism has ended. Canada has stopped all flights to Cuba. So they've closed down the hotels, partly because there's not many people coming, and then secondly because their workers can't get there because there's not the taxis and the buses that aren't running anymore. And they're preserving their oil in rotation for fuel for power stations and for the cigar industry, which is the only industry they have bringing any outside income. So it's very possible that Marco Rubio's dream of regime change in Cuba will be happening soon. And, if that's the case, that would be the last communist holdout in the Western Hemisphere that I can think of. And that would be an amazing thing to not have that. I say amazing, a significant thing, not having that influence right in the doorstep. And Cuba is really only about as far away from Florida as we are from Shreveport. I mean, it's right there. So to have that threat removed would be pretty huge. And those folks, they're increasingly speaking out for freedoms, and we'll see what happens there. All right, it's time for the next break. We'll come back. We'll hope to have your calls, 318-442-8255, the BOM Talk Line. Back with Stephen and Nathan after this.
KSYL. Now back to Talk Back. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Well, we believe in setting records around here, including the fastest breaks in the Guinness Book of World Records. There's another one for you.
It happens.
I'm glad you said that. I took my headphones off and wasn't paying attention. You're like, let's go back home.
I was about to get some coffee.
Oh.
Well, meanwhile, report out today, at least 112 United States Air Force C-17 aircraft are headed to the Middle East, and they're saying it is Desert Storm levels of aircraft.
You think this is about Iraq?
Iran, yeah.
Iran.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
My goodness.
I'm trying to see. They're massive aircrafts, deliver huge amounts of equipment, large numbers of troops in a single go. The military lists some of the following key capabilities: capacity over 170,000 pounds, operates on short runways, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, they're saying a significant amount.
Wow. Well, interesting to see how that will develop out, because, you know, anybody who's got a family member in the military certainly would be paying attention to that. And, you know, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the nuclear treaty just expire?
Something to that effect, yeah.
You know, supposedly they're having discussions. So, well, that would... Are you following the Savannah Guthrie story much?
Casually.
Her mother?
Casually, yeah. What happened now?
Well, no, it's stretching out, and there's the speculation is huge. Some are saying that the local police did not participate or cooperate with the FBI when they first came in. Others are saying that they've been looking at people close to them. You know, and then it's a travesty. It's a heartbreak. It's just a heartbreak that type of loss. Any of us who have, you know, my mom and dad are around the same age of that, to think that, and I'm sure Savannah feels a certain level of guilt, because she's, you know, they've got to be thinking that her mother was targeted because of who she is. You know, the idea of, you know, she would have resources. I think the ransom demand was $6 million. If they asked for $6 million from my dad, I love you, I'll see you in heaven, because I ain't got access to nothing like that. But there was a clarification yesterday that came out. They said that, you know, she didn't go to church Sunday morning, and that's why people got concerned. Well, come to find out, sort of like that. She and a group of her friends attend Savannah's church in New York online. They gather every Sunday in a different person's home, and they watch the services online. So yes, she didn't go to church, but it's actually she didn't go to her friend's house. And when she didn't show up and they called, that's how quickly people, you know, that's how fast they knew something was up. That made a little bit more sense, because, you know, if you don't come to church at my church, I'm not going to necessarily think you're kidnapped or think something's happened. You know, you just didn't come today, because that happens. People, you know, when you have, you know, a larger number. But if you have 6 or 8 people that meet every single week, and somebody doesn't show up, and they don't call, and they don't text, and they don't respond to calls and respond to texts, well then, yeah, you know, there's definitely that concern there. So unfortunately, they say that she had a camera system in the house, but she had stopped paying the subscription, so there's no record of that. You know, those little things like that. So it's just tugging on the heartstrings. And of course, I think the media partly is running with it because Savannah's one of their own. You know, so it's kind of circling the wagons. But very, very,
very odd
sad story. Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, the Epstein files latest.
Okay.
Apparently some Congress members were allowed to review some of the documents with the DOJ unredacted. Like I said, it's millions of documents. We've been hearing some of them kind of speak out with it. Republican Thomas Massey, Democrat Ro Khanna came out saying that they believe 6 prominent people could possibly be implicated. One higher up in a foreign government, another U.S. citizen, and others they're not sure about, so I don't really know what that means. They're claiming that there are 3 million documents that have not been released. And this is coming from Democrat Congressman Jamie Raskin, saying that there are mysterious and inscrutable redactions, including the president's name. Meanwhile, there's other reports that the president called a police chief in the early 2000s saying, we're glad you're going after Epstein. Everyone's known this has been going on for quite some time.
Right.
So there's a lot of things. They're saying that the redaction of the president possibly, this is possible, could refute saying that he kicked him out of his Mar-a-Lago club. But it's just a bunch of things going on.
All right, so definitely got to follow up on that. And something we're paying close attention to is you notice on, sources are like X-Files or not X-Files, X.com, formerly Twitter, great place for people or citizen archivists and journalists are digging in. They're finding pictures and videos that they're putting out there, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So, yeah, we definitely need to pay attention to that, and the chips will fall where the chips will fall. I think that's where many of us stand. I'm not going to defend somebody just because they're on a side or go against somebody because they're not on my side. I think it's important that we stand for truth and let it truly come out.
I think the problem with when you say the chips will land where they land, I think a lot of people don't even think that that'll even get to that point, just because there's so many powerful people.
Yeah.
That's some of the criticism.
Well, interestingly, what's interesting is there have been more dignitaries or officials in other countries who they've actually stepped down and resigned and caused resignation than there have been here. Is it Lutnick in the cabinet that they're calling for his resignation because, he had said he had ceased communication at a certain date, and then there's records of him continuing to go to the island and whatnot, and,
over years.
Oh, yeah. And again, you have to say allegations and allegedly because that's not proven in a court of law yet. But everybody knows the old saying about smoke and fire, and it's just somebody's got to look at it and give us and I swear I think putting it on the I keep saying the X-Files on X.com gives the citizen journalists a chance to dig through it.
Yeah, and that's I think the main thing with Lutnick is we know that we can't take everyone's word for what it is in politics. Shocker, right? But he was pretty adamant and gave a whole story about how he was grossed out about Epstein on the news, and I never talked to him after that one time I met him, and then we see in the files that he had communication with him over the years. Like, he was pretty adamant. Oh, well, he was gross, and I never talked to him again, and then meanwhile they're meeting up over the years. So I think that's one thing. Like, people are telling us stuff, but just because you say it really doesn't mean anything.
Well, I'll tell you an interesting site if you want to do your own digging. jmail.world, not Gmail, but jmail.world. They purport to have all of the Epstein emails in a searchable format, just like a Gmail. Have you seen that? And have you searched for anything there? Okay. Well, I pulled it up, but I haven't necessarily searched for anything. But it is something that you could browse through. I might want to put my name in there and just see. Never heard.
Wow.
Like, as if.
There might be a Martin in there.
There might be. That'd be scary. All right. I searched for Nathan Martin. No results found for Nathan Martin. Okay. Well, good. I feel better now.
Good.
As if there were a doubt. So, but I tell you, I guarantee you there are a lot of people putting their names in that. People with D.C. addresses. So they want to know. Oh, my goodness. Have they been found out? All right, well, we got one more segment coming up after this break. We'd love to have you call in. Don't forget that we do have Pineville Mayor Joe Bishop coming in, talking about the big Pineville Parade. And I just got a text that says, are you supposed to be live right now? I'm supposed to be live right now. We'll check on that when we come back. Back with more after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Some smiles sound like this, while others sound this way. If you'd like to improve the way your smile sounds, the folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver. Over the years, hundreds of Central Louisiana patients have visited Today's Dental and then left completely satisfied. Their dental implant procedure is amazingly simple, low anxiety, and completely affordable. Today's technology makes your beautiful smile easier than ever. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Want your smile to sound better? Give Today's Dental a call at 318-448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 318-448-4540.
Tired of that same plumbing issue? Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Plumbing problems, large or small, Southern Air will fix them all. And you'll get service with no delay from certified technicians the very same day. Take advantage of our $99 drain clearing special and our 0% financing for those larger jobs. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com. The official heating and cooling provider for LSU football.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Craving mouth-watering barbecue and juicy steaks? Head on over to Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse, the top barbecue and steakhouse in Alexandria. Our warm and welcoming atmosphere is the perfect setting for a night out with friends or a family dinner. Indulge in our premium barbecue and steaks, fresh salads, and handcrafted burgers. Come as you are, we're ready to serve you. Visit Cole's Barbecue and Steakhouse today on Coliseum Boulevard across from Laborde Earls Coliseum. Expect real good food.
Now is the perfect time to call A1 Pools and get a nice in-ground pool installed before springtime gets here. Come on, stop putting it off and take the plunge with a new pool from A1 Pools. Plus, if you purchase a new in-ground pool from now till March 15th, you'll get 2 free sidewalk jets, a free dolphin cleaner, and a free saltwater system. Call A1 Pools now at 318-449-2093. Financing is available. That's 318-449-2093 for A1 Pools.
.70 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
Good morning. Welcome back to Talk Back. Excited to have this morning a guest with us, Jason Park, the Executive Director of the NSU Cenla campuses. And my fault, didn't bring you in here early enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and own it on air. But glad to have you here, Jason. And also going to hold you over because you're kind enough to do that. You'll be back on after Mayor Bishop because there's so much to talk about at NSU.
Absolutely,
that you guys are just, you pull that microphone closer. You guys are blowing and going over there.
We are, Nathan, and we appreciate the opportunity to be with you this morning. Just wanted to kind of come in and keep the community aware of what all is going on at the NSU Cenla campus out at the airport.
Yeah.
We was off to a very good spring semester. Enrollments was really good. We're still holding that 600 student count each academic year. Last time I was in here, we discussed the addition of a new building that we have on site. So right now we have a 60,000 square foot footprint of office and classroom and lab and computer lab space available to our students. One of our facilities is a 40,000 square foot 2-story building. The new building is adjacent to where our current building is at 7228 England Drive. That's a 20,000 square foot building that's housing most of our rad science, or I should say all of our rad science program and a portion of our nursing. Radiological technician.
Good.
And I know we get caught up in these acronyms and things, so I have to spell it out even for myself sometimes. But and houses a lot of our faculty, staff, and nursing over there as well.
So I think people might be surprised to hear you have 600 students right here at the Pineville, at the Cenla campus at England Airport.
Yeah, one of the neat things too is that we talk about all the different and the great things happening in post-secondary higher education, And we are one of those great things that are happening right here in Cenla, and we're very fortunate, very blessed to be serving the Cenla community. And when we say Cenla community, we're not just talking about Rapides Parish. You know, we're talking about those surrounding parishes as well. And it's really neat to know that we have, you know, students that live here, work here, have families here, paying their taxes here, and also getting to enjoy the benefit of having Northwestern State University right here in their backyard.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's actually an incredible gift. And NSU has such a storied history, and you got a new president. Well, not he's not brand spanking new, but he's still got the new car smell a little bit on him.
He's on his rookie contract.
we love President Genovese. He's been very engaged in a lot of the just the projects in general that we've had going on, not only on main campus with the addition of a new facility there, but working with us very closely here in Cenla to expand our programs and see that we're doing the very best that we can to have the right equipment and things that are needed for our students to be successful in those high-demand occupations right here in Cenla. And that's always a challenge, no matter if you've been around for a little while or you've been around for a long time. You know, funding is always a challenge for any higher ed institution. And so those are little obstacles that we work through, and we've been very fortunate and very blessed to be able to provide that technology and things to our students.
So as you look at your programs, your different offerings, I'm going to ask you two questions on bookend this. What would you say is the highest engagement program that you have, and which one has the most potential for growth? Well,
nursing, both here, even on main campus, is our bread and butter, if you want to put it that way. That's our largest group or cohort of students, both in the associate degree side and on the bachelor degree side. We have the doctoral program as well, the DPN, different avenues that students can take. And at some point on one of the shows, I'm actually wanting to bring in the lady that oversees and coordinates our nursing division, and she will be able to give a lot of the specifics on the ins and outs of the nursing program itself. But from where I sit, looking at the enrollment and trying to meet the demand of our local employers and the healthcare community at large, that's our largest program. And rightfully so, because we do try our very best to align with what the Louisiana Workforce Commission shows with their statistical data that for an area, and not just our area, but throughout the state, throughout North America even. I mean, nursing is showing that healthcare shortage in years to come, and we're doing our part here in our area to see that we, continue to fill that workforce gap, not with just nurses, but with qualified, work-ready nurses.
Well, as a member of the board at Rapides, I guarantee you graduate them, we'll hire them, because we need them. That's a guaranteed job placement.
Well, and that's one of the statistics that we pull and that I was able to look at here recently, is that, we do have a 100% placement rate for the graduates that do choose to stay in this area. Now, I would love to say that we capture every single one of them right here in our area. Right. That's would just not be the reality of that. But for the most part, we are able to maintain and keep our students right here within the state of Louisiana and local areas. Some do go back to their areas where they reside and work close to their family.
Well, you can't hear it because you don't have headphones on, but the music is playing, which means that we're going to be rolling out of here in a second. And that gives me the opportunity to say my next question will be in the following segment. I'll give the opportunity to talk about the degrees that you offer that have the most room for growth. And so I look forward to having that conversation with you and hearing about some of these specific offerings and how people can get involved. So Jason Parks, Executive Director of the Cenla campus at NSU, will be back with us at 8:40. Right now we got news and Mayor Joe Bishop of the City of Pineville after this. Stick around for more.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting. AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. In her latest video, Savannah Guthrie calls it an hour of desperation. in the search for her family's 84-year-old mother, Nancy. It's been well over a week since she was kidnapped from her home in Tucson. A second ransom deadline came and went yesterday. CBS's Anna Schechter.
She has tried strategically, with the support of the FBI, to get them to start a negotiation for the release of her mother. Now she seems to have moved on to a phase 2, just asking the public, if you've seen anything, say something.
There's pressure on a Trump administration official in the Jeffrey Epstein case. CBS's Scott McFarland from Washington.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has faced new calls to resign after CBS News reported Lutnick was in business with Epstein as recently as 2014 and arranged a visit to Epstein's island with his wife and children in 2012, despite saying last year he had cut off ties with Epstein in 2005. A Commerce Department spokesperson called the men's interactions limited.
A trial is underway in Los Angeles, taking social media companies to task for allegedly designing their products to get kids addicted. There's another case underway in New Mexico accusing Facebook's parent company of opening children up to sexual exploitation. Loyola law professor Lori Levinson.
The New Mexico Attorney General is arguing that, in fact, Meta knew exactly what they were doing, that they knew they were setting up a platform that would allow predators to implement schemes to take advantage of young people, and that they put together a product, namely Facebook and Instagram, that were inherently dangerous.
Air Canada is the first airline to say it's suspended service in and out of Cuba because of a U.S. blockade on oil shipments. Cuban officials say they won't have enough for planes to refuel there. It's also affecting the availability of gasoline on the island. Jesus Saname couldn't get a taxi to the airport.
I had to go like 10 people because they said, I don't have gas. I don't have a way to take you to the airport.
There's a problem with Olympic medals in Italy.
German biathlete Philipp Naurath was jumping up and down celebrating when his bronze medal broke off its band and crashed to the floor. U.S. figure skating gold medalist Ellie Kam says the same thing happened to teammate Alyssa Liu.
It just popped off and it fell on the ground and it got a couple dents on it.
The game's chief operations officer, Andrea Francisi, heard through a translator.
We are fully aware of the situation. We are looking to exactly what the problem is.
Some medals have broken in two. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Dow futures are down 22, S&P futures off 2. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsor.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Here's a good reason to pour yourself another cup.
A new study in the journal JAMA looked at data on more than 130,000 adults over 4 decades to see if consuming coffee and tea impacts dementia risk and cognitive function.
What they found was people who had moderate consumption of caffeinated coffee or tea, so 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day, 1 to 2 cups of tea per day, had a lower risk of dementia, but we cannot say based on this study that this is actually protective.
Dr. Celine Gounder is a CBS News medical contributor. Researchers say while the findings are encouraging, the effect size is small, and that exercising, eating right, and getting enough sleep are important ways to protect cognitive function as people get older. Karen Hua, CBS News, Houston.
New concerns about GLP-1 weight loss drugs and a disease dating back to the 17th century. Scientists say users aren't paying enough attention to what they consume and developing scurvy. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Jean Burns. The debate over whether guns should be allowed on college campuses will resume in the upcoming legislative session. Here's Andre Champagne.
The proposal has been brought before legislature in years past, and university officials and campus police departments were successful in getting lawmakers to vote against it. Oil City Representative Danny McCormick says he will lead the effort this year to allow concealed carry on campus after hearing from a group of college students.
They felt like the rights were unjustly taken from them, and they want them back. It's just pretty much that simple.
McCormick says a student should have the ability to defend themselves in an active shooter situation.
This is the right to self-defense. That's exactly right.
I'm Andre Champagne.
State police announced the arrest of a Slidell man on charges of child sexual exploitation. Authorities say 42-year-old Joshua Duggar had sexually explicit conversations with someone he believed was just 15. We're told the multi-week investigation that led to the arrest was a joint effort between several federal and local agencies. LRN. Attorney General Liz Muriel is considering filing lawsuits against New York and California in her fight to extradite doctors indicted for mailing abortion pills to individuals in Louisiana. California Governor Gavin Newsom says his state will never help Louisiana criminalize health care. Muriel says Newsom and New York Governor Kathy Hochul are playing politics.
I could mail guns to their state, say, I don't agree with your laws. I think I'm going to send all your people guns. They would absolutely want to prosecute me for the illegal violation of their gun laws.
Well, now that the Santa Clara Super Bowl is in the books, people are looking to the future. And in New Orleans, that means a continued focus on making a bid to host the 2031 Super Bowl. Jay Cicero, president and CEO of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation, says the Crescent City's proven it's a great Super Bowl host, and it even has some advantages.
To be within walking distance of everything or a short Uber ride is really a benefit to our area versus other cities who host the event.
LRN.
For 1 year only, the event you've celebrated year after year is getting a new name and a new date. Because Fat Tuesday falls on Valentine's weekend, Taste of Mardi Gras becomes Taste of Central Louisiana. Happening Saturday, March 7th at the Randolph Riverfront Center. Enjoy the same great food, drinks, live music, and Mardi Gras spirit you've always loved, just on a new night and with a new name. For a full list of events, visit AlexandriaPinevilleLA.com and plan your trip today at ExploreLouisiana.com.
Well, good morning. Patchy, dense fog to start us out in many areas this morning, and that'll leave us with cloudy skies later on. Afternoon highs near 78. Winds, pretty good breeze out of the south-southwest at about 10 to 15. Tonight, overcast. We'll get down to 60 for the overnight low. And then our Wednesday, starting out cloudy, skies becoming partly sunny in the afternoon. Afternoon highs near 75. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Welcome back to Talk Back for Tuesday. The second Tuesday of the month means it's time for Mayor Joe Bishop to join us from the city of Pineville. Good morning, Mayor. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
We're doing very well. Happy to have you in today. And always, whenever there's a city council meeting that morning, you can count on the mayor to show up and talk about the good things in Pineville. Y'all had a good thing Friday night, it sounds, people are talking about, still buzzing about.
Absolutely. Look, Friday evening, the parade road down Main Street started at 7 o'clock. It was shoulder to shoulder from Glass Specialties all the way to LCU on both sides of the road, and knock on wood, and thank God we didn't have any incidents, okay? So it was a great nighttime parade. The people in Pineville and also Central Louisiana came out and enjoyed themselves and had a great time.
There was something new there at the Old Town Museum. A prince and princess were up there, and I know the folks were really enjoying that presentation. They look like Marie Antoinette and King Louis.
Yeah, Daryl, speak on that because you and Mr. Tudor put that together.
Yeah, so, Mike Tudor has, and I have to give him kudos, he was part of the driving force to even get a Mardi Gras parade in Pineville, and he's now chairman of our downtown development district. And so about halfway this year, he came to me with 2 separate ideas, and we'll talk about both of them. One, he wanted to relive something that he saw at a New Orleans Mardi Gras parade in Mofa, I don't know, somewhere that he did. And it was basically period costumes where you had a prince and princess, and they would wave to the floats, and you'd have music and a toast and kind of more of the New Orleans carnival atmosphere. So that's what we did. We worked together with him. He had some people come. We're in the middle of doing some renovations to Old Town Hall anyway. So it was a good fit. The Prince and Princess were 2 students from the theater department at Pineville High School. The school was very involved. They were glad to do it. We've got a commitment again from next year. We've had a little bit of conversation of things we can do to improve and make it a little bit better. His second idea that I'll have to give him credit for, he came to us about halfway through and said he wanted to do, what if we had a men's walking crew during the parade? Well, when he said that, in my mind, I thought Greg Gormanis and the Boogaloo Suit, a group of those men going in. If you watch New Orleans, you know, Mardi Gras, you have different ones. You got the guys in the recliners that they put the motors in and they come down the street. So anyway, he ended up getting a group, about, I don't know, 6-7 weeks ago, he reaches out to me and says, how about a group of ladies? So I was like, okay, well, that's fine. And as we get closer to the parade, we get an entrant, and it's the TAP ladies from Louisiana Athletic Center. And I'm like, is this the marching group he's talking about? So I go meet with them, and they did. They were in between the Grand Marshal float and in front of the mayor's float, and they stopped. They had a routine. They were dressed in costume. They had a great time. I think they had persuaded some of their husbands to carry or to pull little wagons where they had throws in it, and they handed out throws throughout the parade.
Wow.
And had a great reception. We talked to them before and after and figured out some things. They want to participate again next year. So some things we can do to improve their sound-wise, you know, music and all that. So, you know, overall, like the mayor said, we had a great turnout from front to back. Night was great. Weather was perfect. And just additions to the parade, of course, this makes us have to come in and put a little bit more rules in of what it is. You know, the Christmas parade is great, 130, 140 entries. We kind of let everybody come except for the groups that we can't for insurance reasons. You know, we can't let them in.
Horses.
Horses, right, I didn't want to say it, but horses. So
oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
So one of those things, but we want to keep the Mardi Gras. It was an hour and a half from the time we began to where we disembarked at Pineville High School.
Really? Wow.
And to us, that kind of hits a sweet spot of time, because even at the Christmas parade, once you get through about 100 or up in the upper 80s, parents with little kids, you start seeing them leaving the Christmas parade, right? So, and especially if it's cold or whatever. So we want to keep it that sweet spot. Next year we'll post some rules that we've kind of been working on already about floats and what you have to be considered a float, and marching groups and those types of things, to just make sure we all stay in line of what we need to do.
Well, as long as you keep the shopping cart from Super One, that thing is amazing.
It is.
Somebody talked to us about that too.
Yeah, the owner of the shopping cart, he lives on Cane River, so I see it up there when I go to my camp houses and everything.
Oh, okay.
And also, we snuck in the sheriff on our float this year, Mark Wood, him and his wife, Tanya. So they enjoyed themselves, you know, throwing beads and you know, teddy bears and everything else to the people. So everybody had a great time. And something new Daryl and I decided to do, we just ordered brand new lights last year for our water tower. And it's LEDs. And I said, you know what? These colors are like neutral for Christmas, Mardi Gras, and everything else. So we didn't tell anybody, so we left the Christmas lights up on the tower, unplugged them, and then we just plugged them in the other night. And so our tower's lit up with Mardi Gras colors.
You know, I saw that driving the other night. I'm like, it caught me off guard. I thought, what a neat festive idea. Can you change the colors? Can you tell it what colors you want it to be?
No, it's not that. It's just the LED bulbs. We had looked at color changing, but those are
I bet they're expensive, especially as long as those things are.
Yeah, 190 feet, I think, something like that. Per strand, and it's like 23, 24 strands. It's a lot of lights.
Well, I heard Billy Nungesser, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, talking about promoting all of the non-New Orleans Mardi Gras and how family-friendly they're seeking to make it. And of course, I'm sure the Pineville parade hits that sweet spots for families, and that's a good thing.
It does. And yesterday we spent all day with Lieutenant Billy Nungesser and stuff. It started at Country Day School, meeting the kids there, and then we went to Diamond Grill and had a lunch there with him. And, talking about Mardi Gras, talking about litter and things like that. So that's something really gets to me about the litter we see in our city and stuff. And thank, once again, to Sheriff Mark Wood for giving us an inmate crew. We get 6 inmates every day Monday through Friday, and they go around our city cleaning up litter. And I just got off the phone with James Robinson, our Public Works Director, and I said, James, let's go ahead and line up cleaning our overpasses and also our bridges coming into Alexander Pineville because it has litter on it. I mean, it's right there by LC. Somebody lost a bunch of books. And I said, once a car hits the books, you know, it's going to be
going everywhere.
Paper everywhere. So we get with the police department, public works department, and make sure, you know, we don't do it during business hours and stuff like that, and just get them cleaned up.
May give a shout out to the MAPS, that Motor Assistance Patrol truck, and see if they would escort. You know, that is so good because those bridges have a tendency to collect over time, and then it is DOTD. It's not a city responsibility. But thank you for taking that on. We did have a caller in the first hour ask about litter, and about litter courts and what can be done, and they were asking, is there anything that could allow, kind of like a Crime Stoppers, where if you call something in and a person gets a fine and it's a big fine, that they would get a reward for calling it in?
I don't think they get a reward. The Lieutenant Governor's office has that set up where he has an 800 number. You can call the Lieutenant Governor's 800 number. The legislation allows his office or a subdivision of his office to make those citations available, you know, to them for the litter abatement or litter. We can't do a mail-in citation or anything. We do periodically, if we get excessive complaints on the expressway or any other area, we'll send the police department out or have them go and watch. And usually it's these private haulers that it's not just somebody going down the road throwing out, you know, a stick of gum or whatever. It's usually a private hauler coming from another parish somewhere going to the drop station over on the other side of Alexandria. They're not properly covered, you know, their load, and they're losing it, and we address it that way.
Well, and he showed a video, I was telling Stephen, at the LMA Midwinter Conference of cameras that they put out in high dump spots. And I love how he said at the end of the video, because people were just appalled at how much, you know, guys pulling up their pickup trucks and just unloading it in the National Forest or stopping on a bridge.
They were throwing a couch off the bridge.
Off the bridge. And people were shocked. And then at the end of the video, he said every single person you saw in that video was arrested. Like, well, thank you. You know, that's really good. And I know the city of Pineville takes great pride in, and the city employees take great pride in maintaining the expressway and the roadways. And it's a whole lot easier to win a Clean the City competition if you keep it clean all year round.
That's right. We don't wait for no Cleanest City competition to come up. We try to do this 365, okay? Because you have to stay on top of it. You can't start, you know, and do it every 6 months or things like that. And also people, when they throw things in a creek or a coulee or a river or whatever, it stops up the drainage canal, okay? And it causes flooding in the residential areas and stuff. So that's the reason. Please don't, you know, litter, okay? That's
so good.
You know, even with the parish, okay, when I was with the police jury, if you have a refrigerator or a couch or something like that, if you'll put it out and contact the parish highway department, okay, they'll come pick that up, okay? But they don't pick up leaves and limbs or anything like that. But refrigerators, stoves, things like that, they will pick that up.
That's really good to know. A lot of people may not realize that. So thanks for sharing that.
If you live in Pineville on a certain highway and one goes bad and you put it out on a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, it'll be gone by 2:30, I promise you.
There are some people who roll around looking for things that could be recycled or, so pick
They really do. And it gets me when certain people are moving or something like that. If a mattress blows out, like, come on, you know you lost the mattress, and the mattress is laying on the side of the road. Pick it up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're going to take a break in a couple of minutes, or in a minute from now, but I also know you have some young people you're going to be recognizing at tonight's council meeting. We talked about the students from Pineville High School and the theater department, but you also have some cheerleaders you're going to be recognizing at tonight's meeting.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So whenever you want to go over there, just let me know.
Well, let's take the break so I can give you the opportunity to really expand on that.
Okay.
We'll come back with Mayor Joe Bishop, Chief Operating Officer Daryl Basco from the City of Pineville right after this.
Thank you.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
LSU sports dominate the field, the court, and the diamond. And at Advanced Office Systems, we're bringing that same championship spirit to businesses across Louisiana. From large organizations to school districts to privately owned businesses, we deliver top-tier Canon and Toshiba copiers with fast local service, cutting-edge security, and cost-effective solutions. If your office needs a winning game plan, team up with the pros who always deliver. Call Advanced Office Systems today, where performance meets championship service.
Craig's Cleaners is now looking for some good employees. In particular, Craig's is looking for people with cashier experience and who have a valid driver's license. It's a pretty sweet job, too. Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. with no weekends. Wow. That's right. Here's your chance for every weekend off. Wow. So if you're interested in working for Craig's Cleaners, please apply in person at Craig's main location at 1746 Elliott Street, Alexandria.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
All right, welcome back to Talk Back on Tuesday. Terrific Tuesday with Mayor Joe Bishop of the city of Pineville. Mayor, you've got, it's not the biggest agenda, but it's got some big things on it.
Absolutely. We're super excited about recognizing the Pineville High School cheerleaders for their recent National Cheerleaders Association National Championship. So they're going to be there tonight, also along with Pineville Junior High cheerleaders for their recent National Cheerleaders Association National Championship. And on top of that, the Pineville Junior High ladies basketball team for their recent district championship. So we're going to have a house full of young ladies tonight, and we already ordered a whole sheet cake for the students to enjoy.
That is great. We've got to be rotating the parents in and out, I think, with
I know.
those people. That's wonderful.
Yeah, we'll have a packed council meeting tonight.
I wonder who has ever had a junior high and a high school both win the national championship.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
We're super proud of our schools that we have in Rapides Parish. You know, the entire parish. We do a great job here educating our kids.
And I think on the girls, this is either 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row.
It's at least two, and
it's at least two, maybe even three, maybe.
So last week I was dropping, or week before last, I was dropping my daughter off at school like I do every morning, and there was 2 limousines there. I'm like, what are these?
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, it was for the cheerleaders. They
They did it at the high school and the junior high because the PD we helped doing the little escort.
That's such a great. I mean, you gotta celebrate those kinds of things.
And you know, we went to Dr. Johnson at LCU is doing great, and he offered. It was Brame Lady Gators, Pineville Lady Volunteers played for the district championship, and both coaches didn't want to play at each other's home, so LCU was asked, and you know, he opened up the gym for him and came in to do that, and we went to the game, and look, it was packed. It was packed. Parents from Alexandria and Pineville. It was a great game. Pineville had a little slow start, got worried there for a little bit, but by halftime they were, I think, up by 1 point, and so it ended up being a great game.
What a brilliant move by Dr. Johnson, though, to get all those students on his campus and to see what LCU is.
It was great, and he's doing a great job. He's been a great part of the city. He reached out and said, "Hey, I want a Mardi Gras float in the parade for our kids." So I told him, "Well, you got to do these things to it." And look, did it, and he was always part of everything. You know, does great. I think he was with y'all at Country Day yesterday morning.
He was.
He was there. So a real shot in the arm for LCU and what they're doing.
He's such a personable guy.
He really
is. Meet him and his wife and his kids, phenomenal additions. So that is so great.
And they're living on campus.
And that's wonderful. That's been it's been a decade since presidents lived on campus.
Way over decades.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was when I went to LCU.
I started to say Bob Lynn was maybe the last one I can remember living there.
And that's when I was there in the early 90s.
Yeah. I don't think Roy Lee lived there. I know Brewer didn't live there, and so it's been Aguilar. That's right. All right. Well, let's talk about some more things on the agenda that you want to point out. We don't have to go through every single thing, but the things that stand out to you that folks might be interested in, Mayor.
This one was really going to stand out. Okay, approval resolution authorized the mayor to negotiate and enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Red River, Atchafalaya, Bayou Beth Levee District to purchase property near the Gillis Long Bridge. And this property is right there at the flagpole at the foot of the bridge, okay, where the old Murray Street Bridge to the right. We just received $1.6 million from the
Red River Waterway Commission.
Yeah, Red River Waterway Commission to build Pineville citizens an amphitheater.
All right.
So yes, so we're going to survey that property. RAB is going to get an appraiser. We're going to pay for the appraisal and purchase that property. We've been leasing that property on a 20-year lease for like $1 every 20 years. And since we're going to build a facility on it, they said we'd prefer y'all to go ahead and purchase the property, and I agree with them.
Makes sense.
So they're going to back out the levy and also the right-of-ways that's in there, and then whatever that property is valued at, we're going to purchase it for appraised value. And we're going to start that project this year. So hopefully it'll take us about 9 months to build it once we start construction.
So exciting. That is going to be another, because you guys are using the riverfront immensely. Tremendous. In fact, Saturday morning, y'all got a big event coming up there, or Saturday after the Children's Parade, right?
Saturday, as soon as the Children's Parade's over with, we'll actually, kind of towards the end, we'll start with music around 11 o'clock. Tony Groove's going to be there to kind of start it off. Tony's, great for us and what he does. And then we have two bands coming in from South Louisiana. Leroy Thomas and Gerald Delafos is both going to be here, play back-to-back for Mardi Gras on the Red. Music, Zydeco music will probably be from around noon to 6 p.m.
So there'll be a washboard and
everything, accordion, all of that. We have food vendors, jumpers for the kids, all of that. So family-friendly event. Everybody can come out and enjoy it Saturday. And the best part is the weather forecast keeps pushing the rain a little bit later and a little bit later and a little bit later. So I think we'll be okay.
We like that. And it's free to the public, so come on out, enjoy the riverfront.
And the thing is, you don't have to drive to Mamou, Eunice to enjoy Zydeco music. Come to Pineville. Right after the kids' parade, just come across the Jackson Street Bridge and have a good time.
Stay parked in Alexandria. You don't even have to move your car.
Yeah, just walk across the bridge.
Walk across the bridge. There's a walkway. You just walk on over, hang out, and walk on back.
Very smart.
Is that property going to be where the flagpole is?
It's going to be just before it.
Okay. Between the levee and where the street is, where the flagpole, that little piece where everything's kind of set up.
Yeah, that's where the flags for the, when they do the honor, the flags.
That's where
all that. Is that the area that you're purchasing from?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the amphitheater.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of strange when you get there. You've got RAB, Red River, the Bayou Beth, or Chaffalide District, whatever that is. The Waterway Commission has a piece. The City of Pineville has a piece. The state's got a little bitty strip. It's just all over there.
So serious intergovernmental agreements to make
all
stuff
over
happen.
That's right.
But people working together to advance City of Pineville, that's exciting.
How many would it seat? Is there like a number? Or?
No, there's the concept drawing is there where it kind of circles around, but we've got to look at one of the things that we look when you look at the concept drawing we have after we did it. When the mayor went and sat there the other day and we started watching the sun, and we were like, oh, wait a minute, if we put it here, that's going to put, if we have a morning event, it's going to put the sun on the crowd in the face of the entertainer. If it's an evening event, it's going to put the sun on the back of the entertainer, the sun in the spectator's eyes. So we're probably going to have to do a little twist and rotate
a corner
where it goes over the top. So we've got to readjust on the number yet of what seating we'd be able to provide. But people will be able to go sit up on the levee. The levee's still going to be in use.
Nice.
The little short levee. So it doesn't keep anybody from bringing a lawn chair, hanging out on the levee foot or anything like that.
Well, that place fills up like when Alexandria does their fireworks. I mean, it fills up all the time. And I'm always amazed when I go down there. Every day there's people picnicking, walking their dogs, just enjoying it. So.
And with that area downtown getting redeveloped and everything, it's just all going to go naturally.
That's right. So it's a joint venture working with Alexandria. They got the riverbank looking beautiful. Now it's time for Pineville to get something on our side, and it's happening. We're fixing to pull the trigger tonight by moving forward on this motion here. And we put picnic tables already out there for people to go and enjoy lunch. You got walking, jogging trails. You got Fort Randolph, Fort Bulow there. So go and take advantage of that. Also, Billy Nungesser and them just stocked the pond there at Fort Randolph with rainbow trout. So go out there and bring your kids, go fishing, and catch some rainbow trout before it gets too hot.
Yeah, because they won't last all year round, but they go catch them while you're catching's good, right?
That's right.
And the big thing, too, if a lot of people don't realize it, go follow the social media for Fort Randolph and Bulow. They have tons of events out there for kids, adults, you know, a lot of educational stuff. They're having an Easter egg hunt coming up, you know, closer to Easter and everything. So be sure to follow their social media and watch what's going on there at the park.
That's a great tip. I don't think people realize how many things are happening there.
No. And if you show up and look down there, you see blue arrows all over the place. I don't know how many 5K and 3K runs that they host all the time. Because it's perfect. I mean, it's a perfect spot to do.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Well, Mayor, we are at the end of our time. Anything else you want to shout out before we wrap it up?
Well, hey, I want to thank everybody again and come out to the Pineville City Council meeting tonight and eat a piece of cake with cheerleaders.
There you go. 5 o'clock, Pineville City Hall. Look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you again, Mayor Bill Bishop, Chief Operations Officer Daryl Basco. And we'll be back with Jason Parks right after this.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. CVS Health is holding its earnings forecast steady for 2026 after beating fourth quarter sales and profit expectations. The results add confidence to the optimism CVS projected at an investor day back in December when it said all three of its units, insurance, pharmacy, and management of drug benefits, were expected to grow in 2026. Meanwhile, Coca-Cola believes it'll win over consumers by moving away from full-calorie sodas and focusing more on healthier options like sports drinks and water. The beverage giant expects sales to grow as much as 5% this year, but that's falling short of Wall Street's expectations. Sales of its Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is strong, though, growing 14% in the past year. And Spotify set a company record for most users added in a single quarter. The music streaming giant is giving props to its successful end-of-year Wrapped campaign, which lets users share their most listened to artists and songs on social media. Spotify added 38 million users from October through December to reach 751 million. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or bird seed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Well, good morning. Patchy, dense fog to start us out in many areas this morning. And that'll leave us with cloudy skies later on. Afternoon highs near 78. Winds, pretty good breeze out of the south-southwest at about 10 to 15. Tonight, overcast. We'll get down to 60 for the overnight low. And then our Wednesday, starting out cloudy. Skies becoming partly sunny in the afternoon. Afternoon highs near 75. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talkback, and we're excited to be joined again by Jason Parks. He is the Executive Director of the Cenla campuses of Northwestern State University. And Jason, before we do, let me just mention a little correction or a change in scheduling. We were going to have a young lady come in this morning from the Extra Mile in Pineville. They're on the corner of 107 and Pine Grove, and they provide services to folks in the community. They're launching a brand new food bank today. Opens at 9 o'clock. And she was going to come in and talk about it, and then we got to talking about she needs to be there in time to get it open, and so she's going to come back at another time.
That was a priority.
Yeah, well, no doubt about it. So we look forward to having her again. The mayor's told me he's going to be there, I think at 10 o'clock. They're having a little something.
Very good.
So, yeah, excited about that. But that gives us more time with you to make up for cutting you short last half hour.
You guys are good, I promise. And that's an awesome thing with the food bank. Even at our campus, at the NSU Cenla campus, we have a food bank bank, a food pantry for our students.
Great.
And so we kind of keep that open and available to them at times, where folks may be going through a season where they just need that little bit of extra.
Right.
And so we're there to accommodate. So I'll look forward to meeting with them as well.
That's interesting to hear, and it just goes to show the community-driven nature of college in a small town.
Absolutely.
Wow, really
Absolutely.
connected.
Just trying to fill those needs everywhere we can.
Yeah. Well, I know Stephen has an interest in your nursing program.
I think a little bit. There's a young lady there that
Yeah.
I think
He's
kind of
kinda sweet
knows
on
a
him.
little bit. But
Yeah, my boss goes to school there, and
I like
my
that
wife,
boss,
you
yeah.
know, so she loves it. Can't say enough good things about it. She loves it to
Awesome.
death.
Well, we love to hear that, and I do.
She
see
even
her
likes
for-
study. I don't even know.
Really?
That's weird
Well,
to
I've
me,
actually
but
caught her in the act of studying at the campus before. In the
Y'all need to
gathering
walk around
spot.
with stickers that say, caught in the act
Yep,
of study.
there you go. Might be a little promo thing there.
that is
Who
good.
knows?
Yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of Joe Sampati in Natchitoches
Yes.
years ago with the I Love Natchitoches
Yes.
stickers. I mean, he was famous for that.
I actually still have one of those stickers because my father-in-law worked for the city of Natchitoches. He retired from the city of Natchitoches, and
Wow.
I actually got one of those stickers.
Well, that's an
somewhere
heirloom.
in a memory book.
That's
yeah.
an heirloom. All right.
Absolutely.
Now, before we get into even more stuff, talking about the nursing program, we had a regular listener text in and ask about the pay for nurses. And so I know you're not on the hiring side, so you don't necessarily know the specifics on the hiring side, but I'm sure you got a general idea.
We do.
Hopefully it's a lot.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping for, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, as we all know, the healthcare field is one of those high-demand, high-wage occupations. And really depending on the area that the student, completes in, whether that be their Associate of Science in Nursing, their Bachelor of Science in Nursing. We have military medic program, different occupations that you can go into.
Military medic. I had no
military medic to paramedic, ASN, RN.
Wow.
And what those different variants do is that, you could realistically say, from what we've seen in things that, as far as data goes, is, around $30 an hour. And, of course, that's not going to be the definite give-all, but
A starting point.
a starting point. So, when you look at a wage, someone earning that type of wage in our community, that's very good, and there's always room to build on that as well. And that's one of the things that we don't want students going into it just for the money, of course. It has to be a passion and a desire to be in that line of work to be effective and to stay in it long term. But that's what you could safely say would be a good guesstimate for as an hourly wage rate.
That's pretty good starting out.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good.
Steven might be able to retire. Oh man!
Be good
well,
for me.
I know that's not the only thing happening. My question to you in the first segment, I was going to ask two questions. What is the largest program you have, and that is nursing. And then I said, which is the program that may be kind of like the sleeper program that people may not know about, and it's got tremendous potential? I don't know if that question is fair or not, but
it's a fair question. Like I say, we do want to concentrate on the high wage, high demand occupations for the area to make sure that students are securing employment once they finish out their degree program. And depending on the individual, that's going to be their choice in that matter. But one of the programs, or another program that we're looking at launching in the fall, is going to be our pre-law and paralegal studies program. And this is going to be a combination of face-to-face live classes, distance learning at the NSU Sinlaw campus, in addition to our traditional live classes that happen over in Natchitoches as well. So these classes will be taught by attorneys. They do have extensive background experience in those fields. Both in the litigation and in law, of course. So that's one of the things that we're going to shoot for. As we've talked in the community and reached out to different folks, we've realized that this is an area that we were somewhat lacking in and not offering that particular program. So we've reached out to the department head at Northwestern, and there's going to be letters going out by our president to some of the entities to show that we're moving forward with this program, and we are hoping to successfully launch this in the fall.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. I mean, paralegal field, I don't know who else is doing anything like that, but what a great opportunity for people as well, and pre-law, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if we have a small cohort, starting out, that'll be fine. It may be a good thing just to kind of, get our feet wet and getting everything logistically lined out with the program. But we are hopeful that that's going to be something that's going to continue and grow at the Cenla campus.
Does the Natchitoches campus have? They don't have law school. No.
Not law school, but they do offer these programs
pre-law,
already
okay.
on main campus.
So that'd be Southern or LSU.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
Are those the only 2 law schools in Louisiana? That's the only 2 I can think
to
of.
my knowledge,
Loyola
yes.
doesn't have
And
one?
we're working
I don't know. I know.
towards some other areas involved in that, but not quite there just yet.
Not ready for announcement.
That's a whole
Not
other
ready
thing.
for an
Yeah,
announcement
yeah.
just yet.
All right. Well, we need to take a break. When we come back, a lot more to talk about with Jason Parks, Executive Director of the Cenla campuses for NSU, and your phone calls if you have a question. 318-442-8255, the BOM Talk Line. Back with more right after this.
KSYL.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Bolton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's Restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
I recently remarked on the 11 major national parks in America that are levying a heavy fee on foreign visitors. $100 per person to enter a park, plus the park's entrance fee of around $30. So a family of 4 from England would face a $430 entrance fee. That's high, but it's just one of a surprising number of fees that are now or soon will be levied on tourists all over the world. From America's #1 travel radio show, this is your Arm World Travel Minute. I'm Rudy Maxa. Thailand just began charging visitors entering by land, sea, or air a nearly $10 fee. Cruise ship passengers docking anywhere in France will pay an $18 fee. London's tube ticket prices go up 6% in March. Barcelona, long feeling overrun with tourists, is increasing its nightly city tax to $18. I get a kick out of a small Dutch town famous for its windmills, Zandschans, that will charge you $21 to visit. Stay overseas in Hawaii now, and you'll see a nightly 75-cent green tax on your hotel bill. Then there's the $2.40 fee you'll pay now to get close enough to Rome's Trevi Fountain to toss in a coin. Fees, a very hot trend. More travel info at armworldtravel.com.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talk Back.
And we welcome you back. Welcome back to Talk Back. I keep pushing the button. I hope it's working. Glad to have Jason Parks with us here from NSU. He's the executive director of the campuses at Central Louisiana, England Air Park. And I'm blown away by when you tell me how many square feet of campus space y'all have there.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. Like I said, the airport, England Airport, the folks there have been absolutely wonderful to work with. Like I mentioned on a previous show here a while back, Northwestern State University has been out at the airport for over 3 decades now. And many years ago, the facility that our Building A is currently housed in was once known as the Learning Center for Rapides Parish. And the Louisiana Board of Regents had oversight of all of the activities happening in the facility at that time. And it was made up of a consortium of colleges in post-secondary education, higher ed, that were all housed in this one building. About 5, 6, 7 different entities, and of course Northwestern being one of them. And over the years, as things progressed and grew, the smaller entities, they kind of trickled out and went and did their own thing, and Northwestern stayed because we did see the demand and the need for the course offerings that we had at that time. And now that we have additional space in a new building, another 20,000 square foot building, we were able to expand existing programs. And like I said, mentioning earlier with the pre-law program, be able to, look at housing some other certificate programs and degree programs there at the campus. So all in all, it's been a very good growth mode for Northwestern, absolutely.
Well, I love seeing that growth. And again, it feels like in some ways it's the hidden gem that a lot of people don't realize is here, because you think Northwestern, you think Natchitoches.
You do, and I'm glad that folks. I mean, that Natchitoches is the hub. That's the main campus, and Northwestern is very fortunate to have other areas throughout the state that serve as instructional sites. We, like in Shreveport, we have our Leesville location. We're even housed on Fort Polk at the Education Center out there. We have a Marksville location that many folks, still don't realize that we have.
I had no clue.
And then we've been out there for over a decade.
Y'all have anything up in the Shreveport-Bossier area?
Yeah, we have a Shreveport. Nursing is our is the program that's housed up in Shreveport on Line Avenue up there in Shreveport.
Man,
and then, of course, right here in Cenla. So.
Well, my sister got her MBA at Northwestern.
Did she?
And our family was, thrilled.
Okay.
And I'm assuming all of the graduations take place in Natchitoches.
They do. They do. Now, we do other little smaller ceremonies and things, for our students at our campus. But as far as the big hoorah, the graduation, that does take place on main campus. And, even though we are an instructional site, we'll never be the big main campus, here. But the intent is to serve the areas for for Cenla with those degree programs that we know that's going to be beneficial for the community, for our students and their families. And that's one of the things that Steve and I were mentioning earlier before he had to head out, was when we looked at our data, the average age of our student at the Cenla campus is 27. Of the students that we have there, there's some, of course, 20 and under, but the average age for the most part is 27. So that goes to show you that we're serving that student population that, may already have a family, be working in a job or a career field and is looking to change or better themselves in that career field. And so that's the population that we are serving right here in Cenla.
Do y'all have any open houses or opportunities for people to come on campus and see what you're doing?
Every day we have people come on campus.
Every day is an open house.
During our normal operating hours, and we've even scheduled some outside of operating hours, and that's perfectly fine. But, there's generally not a day that goes by at some point throughout the semester where we have somebody walking in saying, hey, I want to take a look at your campus because there's someone that can give me a tour. And, of course, we're always willing and able to do that. And a lot of folks, like I say, when they traditionally come, that they think we're just in that one building, and they see that we have a full spread campus there. That makes it even more appealing. And for many people that live in the outlying areas, being able to travel the shorter distance to our campus to get what they need with their higher ed studies versus making a drive. And some do both. Some do commute back and forth to main campus and then take some of their classes with us as well.
I was going to ask you that. Is that a common thing where you maybe some core classes or some classes you have to save that 50-mile drive?
It is common. And the other thing that we do is we do tons of proctoring. People probably don't realize the amount of proctoring that goes into just a semester of studies for our student population. And that stem from those courses, because they are taking courses via the internet or face-to-face, hybrid, whatever the case may be. And so when it comes time for them to have their exams proctored, that's one of the services that we do provide. And in pulling our numbers and looking at what we do there, we average about 800 individual proctoring sessions per semester. And pre-COVID, it was higher than that. So we're gradually getting those numbers back up to par. Right after COVID, we were hovering around 500, but now we're back up to about 800. And because of that, we actually just recently hired a part-time test administrator that's working with us in our offices to assist in working with our student population for proctoring, because the need is there. The scheduling is ongoing, and it's just a constant need and a service that we do provide to our students.
That's a great opportunity to students to get that education locally and those resources. We do have a phone call. We want to go to the phone right now. Good morning. You're on Talkback. Hello. I heard it. Okay. Well, we'll try that again. Give us a call back, 318-442-8255, the number. And you can talk with Jason Parks, bring his question. and bring your questions to him, and I guarantee you he'll have an answer.
And if I can't get an answer, I'll get one for you.
People ask me, like, I got a question. I'm like, I got an answer. It may not be the right answer, but I'm going to give you an answer. It may be I don't know,
Well,
but I'm going to answer you.
And that's the thing, folks, with all of the intricate details that that we face every day, there's no way you can retain everything with every department. So you've got to have some aides there at times to help you through. And one of the things I did want to bring out, just to kind of show the momentum, and this is Northwestern as a whole for spring 2026. We had, like a little over 7,700 students total for our campuses. That's across all the campuses. And then one of the things that a lot of people talk about, numbers are great, and I agree with that, but retention for me is also a very big deal. And our freshman retention is over 87%. And this year's freshman class includes like 1,100 plus students. So that goes to show you not only are the students enrolling at Northwestern State University, but we're also retaining those students. And there's a lot of work that goes into that with the faculty and staff being there for the student, all the guidance, the instructions, just all the, pats on the back, things that you can do to help encourage the students to stay. And the other good thing that we saw out of this spring semester is that we had a 40% increase in our first-time freshman enrollment. And that is also including our dual enrollment students as well. So those were some pretty, I thought, very good numbers. Especially with the retention piece being plugged in there.
Well, big pieces of news, big stuff going on. We got our final break of the hour. We'll come back and wrap things up and give some more exciting news about things happening in SU on the CenLA campus. Back with more with Jason Parks right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Listen to the all-new Central Louisiana Economic Update with Matt Ritchie every other Tuesday morning on KSYL Talk Radio 970 AM, 104.9 FM, and KSYL.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos out fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
Louisiana, check out these fun February games from the lottery. Pinch it, peel it, cash it out. If you like your crawfish with some extra kick, then play Crawfish Cash Out. Win up to $3,000. Straight out of the pot and into your pocket. This chicken comes with a side of... If you want a shot at some serious cash, then pick up Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. Top prize, $12,000. Take a walk on the wild side and play Wild Side. Top prize is a whopping $100,000. Play all 3 games today from the lottery. Saints fans, it's not too late to get in the game by playing Game Ready and Saints Game On. Win up to $100,000. Enter second chance drawings for Saints prize packages with a chance to win up to $1 million. Visit LouisianaLottery.com for more details. Louisiana Lottery, celebrating 35 years of reasons to smile. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
Now back to Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
All right, we welcome you back to the final segment with Jason Parks. Every time I say the final segment, I want to say the final countdown.
The final countdown.
But Jason, you've got some good things coming up that you want to share with us that folks can be a part of if they'd like to.
Absolutely, Nathan. One of the things, and this is not happening on our Cenla campus, but our Cenla campus students do partake in this event. But I did want to give a shout out and make a quick announcement of an upcoming spring career fair that Northwestern State University will be putting on. The date for that career fair is going to be Tuesday, February the 24th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on main campus in Natchitoches. And we actually have some local employers that will be attending that particular career fair, one of those being Crest Industries. I think Coca-Cola is going to be there as well. Bank of Montgomery, you know, they got local branches here, and that's our bank. It's Bank of Montgomery. And some of the healthcare providers will be there as well, Christus Health. So just want to kind of put a little plug out there for that. Again, that's Spring Career Fair will be Tuesday, February the 24th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. On main campus in Natchitoches.
All right. That's a good deal. Let me ask you this. For those of us who aren't as familiar, how do we get to your Cenla campus there at England Airport, right? So I'm on I-49, and I take the Air Base Road exit.
There you go.
And I enter in. I go around the roundabout. I see all the giant, beautiful
jets,
airplanes
yes,
right there, the
yes.
jets. Where do I go?
You just keep on circling around. You're almost there. You'll turn right there by the new Airport Community Center.
Which is beautiful.
It is a beautiful facility. We've been to several functions there. Yes, absolutely gorgeous facility. I'm glad that we have that available to our community. Keep on going, and if you look to your left, you'll see the big NSU banners there.
Okay.
We're located at 1410 Neil Kirby Boulevard. Is where our main Building A is. You'll see a Building A sign there on it.
So if you get to the airport, you went too far.
You've gone too far. You need to circle back around and
Which
come.
is easy
come
to do.
Very easy to do.
Then it'll be on your right on the way back.
There you go. we're easy to find, and we have ample parking out there. So you know, parking shouldn't be an issue for anybody.
Do you know what the building used to be when it was the air base?
The one that we're in.
Yes.
Well,
Some sort of administrative building.
It was built for the Air Force whenever they were there. So they were the ones actually housed in those buildings for their office space.
Okay.
And so that's what it was originally built for.
Administrative offices.
Administrative offices and for meeting rooms and things of that nature. And then when, like I say, when all that changed over to Board of Regents, it became the Learning Center for Rapides Parish.
Okay.
And so it's kind of morphed into a lot of different things over the past, couple of decades for sure. So
and y'all have a lot of space. You mentioned meeting rooms. Do you have any, like, let's say somebody was looking for a meeting room. Do y'all ever rent them out or make them available?
We do, and that's something we don't advertise that a whole lot. One of the main reasons we don't advertise it a whole lot, but we do want people to be made aware of it because we would like to sit down and have a conversation if they are in need of a meeting space for a workshop, a seminar, or even a classroom setting that they may need for a function that they're doing. Right now, we have the Department of Child and Family Services that come out and utilize our facility for all their workshops and their training seminars. So we accommodate those folks. We have different entities throughout Cenla that come in. That's been some of our regulars, if you will. Mm-hmm. We also provide space for University View Academy, which is some of the homeschoolers, and Louisiana Virtual Charter Academy. We've been working with them for many years now where they'll bring in their student population primarily for testing and for orientation workshops and things like that. So we work with all of those entities to make space available for them. We also have our NSU Child and Family Network. They will utilize our large meeting space for some of their workshops and seminars. So it's a good place if you're looking for a central location that would be accommodating, with catering. We don't cater, but we have caterers that we can provide for your use, whether it be a daytime event or if it be an evening event, because our campus is open, till 9:30 at night when the last class dismisses. And so if you had an evening event, we could accommodate that as well.
So who would they contact if they're looking for utilizing the space?
Yeah, they can contact our administrative office direct. They can email us. They can reach out to me personally. depending on what type of room they would need. We have a Natchitoches room here, so we will.
Yeah, of course, it's a Natchitoches
That's
room.
the large meeting room. But we have computer labs that we can rent out. The foyer area, if there's something that would be conducive to our students, that would be there. So we have collaboration spaces for like meetings and things like that. So whatever is out there that may
That's great.
suit your fancy.
All right, Jason Parks, Executive Director of the Cenla campuses of NSU at England Air Park. He'll be with us the second Tuesday of every month. We look forward to it. Thanks for joining us on Talkback today. Come back tomorrow for Alan Stephen.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. It's been 10 days now since 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped from her home in Tucson, and experts believe the family's tone is changing. Retired FBI hostage negotiator Chip Massey.
The fact that Savannah now has done this recent video of pleading directly to the American people that if there's anything that anyone has seen, to please report that. That is a big indication that they no longer right now have faith in the abductors doing the right thing for them.
Yesterday, a second deadline and an apparent ransom letter passed without any new developments. New storms are targeting people in the east and west. CBS meteorologist Rob Marciano.
We've got advisories that are up for the northern suburbs of New York City, all the way up through upstate New York. The flakes are flying from Buffalo to Rochester, soon Ithaca. This is actually a bit of a warm front. You'll get some snows later on this evening across parts of Boston. Then when the kind of cool front comes through, we'll mix in a little bit of frozen precipitation across the I-95 corridor.
A Pacific storm is on the move from the Great Lakes to New England. Opening statements have begun in a landmark trial against Meta and Google in the first jury trial involving the social media biggies. Correspondent Jolene Kent is in L.A.
In Los Angeles Superior Court, plaintiffs are alleging that Instagram and YouTube are intentionally designed to be addictive and harmful, claiming infinite scrolling and that suggested content algorithm have contributed to teens' alleged addiction and decline in mental health.
3 leading social media companies have agreed to be rated on teen safety. Correspondent Michael Wallace has details on that.
TikTok, Snapchat, and Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, will voluntarily undergo a series of tests by a coalition of advocacy groups. The platforms will be graded on whether they give teens options to turn off endless scrolling or force them to take breaks. Companies that get high safety ratings will receive a Blue Shield badge. Those that don't do well in the test will be labeled as unable to block harmful content. The National Council for Suicide Prevention oversaw the development of the standards. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is opening up about what it's like to serve on the Supreme Court. She tells CBS Mornings.
We are very collegial as a body and as a group, and we get along well as justices together. And I think it's sort of a model for learning how to disagree without being disagreeable.
She's out with a new edition of her Grammy-nominated memoir, Lovely One, just for young adults. The Dow is up 227 points in early trading. This is CBS News. Take control of your financial life. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're next to order. Please pull forward.
You know, Josh, when you said you were springing for lunch, I didn't think you meant drive-through fast food.
Ah, come on, man. Money's been tight lately, and these high gas prices are killing me.
You pay full price at the pump? Get your head out of the sand and start using Upside.
What's Upside?
Come on, dude. Upside is the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it every time I fill up my tank.
Does that really add up?
I've already banked around $200.
That's serious cash.
Hi, can I take your order?
Yeah, I'm ordering the free Upside app to start earning cash back on every gallon of gas I buy.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you